This entire Minecraft world is completely flat. That means no oceans, caves, or any of the other biomes you can find in a regular world. Despite this extra challenge, I'm going to try to build the ultimate base that has everything we need to survive in hardcore Minecraft. Here we are on day 1, and as expected, there's like 1.5 million slimes, so let's just ignore those guys and run over to this nearby village. This looks like a pretty decent sized village though, so let's check it out. Hopefully we can get some loot. Got a chest over here with a bunch of bread and a bundle, which is going to be super useful for looting. I'll also just grab one of these beds, you know, why not? Looks like this house right here has some bookshelves. Yeah, it does. Okay, let's grab these. These are going to be super useful for getting an enchanting setup. A brewing stand over here, very nice. Holy cow, this iron golem is getting put to work. Look how many slime balls are out there. I think it's about time that we get ourselves some tools, so let's punch down this tree. There we go, got ourselves, oh man, this slime, he's guarding me from getting my log. Here's my log. Okay, let's get inside. We should hopefully be safe in here, so let's make ourselves a crafting table. And then using our crafting table, we can make ourselves a pickaxe. And then sorry villagers, but I'm just gonna quickly steal some cobblestone from your house, hopefully without getting yeeted by this slime. Okay, yes, follow me for a second, and then we're gonna run by. Oh my goodness, wait. Let me grab this. Okay, 3 cobblestone, let's get back inside. I'm already so done with these slimes, but let's just go ahead and make ourselves a stone pick. And then we need more cobbles, so maybe let's just steal more from this church. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for that, but I'm just gonna do it. Please, Minecraft, do not strike me down with lightning. Oh, monster hunter, let's go. But now that we have more cobble, let's make the rest of the tools that we need, that being an axe, a shovel, as well as a sword. I think we've more or less looted this entire village, but let's see if we can get some leather from these cows. And of course, those guys didn't drop a single piece. Also, I made this world in a special way where we can get other structures than just villages. Anyway, one of the structures that we can get are ruined nether portals, so let's check out this chest, and we got ourselves some frostwalker boots as well as a golden sword. Before I forget, let's definitely put these boots on. Also, if you're wondering what this massive box over here is, I'm pretty sure it's a trial chamber. This is actually pretty lucky, this room is pretty safe, and check this out, we actually got ourselves some cactus. As well as a bit of sand, which is pretty nice. I don't know how else we're supposed to get that. There's also a couple of chests over here, so let's check out this one, and we got ourselves some arrows and some sticks. And then there's another chest over here. What do we have in this thing? A wooden axe and more arrows. I mean, this thing kind of is like glitched into the bedrock, as you can see, but I think we'll come back here once we're a bit more geared up. I think instead we should just keep looting these villages, as that's probably going to be our best bet for gearing up, at least for these first few days. This village has so many villagers though, like what the heck? I have never seen so many in one spot. I'm getting distracted though, we gotta keep looting, and there is a bunch of hay bales in this place, so let's make ourselves a hoe. And then using this thing, we should be able to gather these up super quick. This village also has a lot more cows, so let's eat these guys and see if we can finally get some leather. Oh, what? Wait, whoa. Did you see that? How did that just turn into ice? Oh, I thought I was tweaking, but we have Frostwalker, I totally forgot. Anyway, we did get some leather, so let's plop down our crafting table, and then using that, we should be able to craft ourselves a saddle. Or maybe not. What if we turn these nuggets into an iron ingot? Now can we? Okay, yes, here we go, got ourselves a saddle. Being able to craft saddles now just feels like so wrong, but it is kind of clutch. But now that we have a saddle, we should be able to tame one of these horses and then travel around a lot faster. Come on, guy, can you please be my friend? Yes, let's go, best friends. Oh, there's a slime! There's a slime! Bro. You gotta be kidding me, man. Well, that was pretty embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm determined to conquer this challenge, so I started up a new world and grinded through the first few days again to get back the progress that we just lost. At least we died pretty early on, so we didn't lose a whole lot. And as you can see, we got pretty much back everything that we lost, even our saddle. I think the rarest items that we probably lost were the cactus and the sand that we got in that trial chamber, but I'm sure we'll find more. Anyway, let's keep gearing up, and I did want to see if we could get a little bit of iron from this golem. Please don't hit me, guy, I'm really not trying to die again. How much iron is that? 3 ingots? Not bad, I'll take it. There is another golem over here though, let's take this guy out as well. Villagers are probably going to be cooked without these guys, but we need the iron. Jeez, this village has 3 golems though? Okay, wait, we're chilling, let's take this guy out. I'm kind of scared of getting one-shot by a slime again, so I think let's just use this to make ourselves a chest plate. And then with the rest of this, maybe just an iron pick. I would like to tame a horse again, but I'm not seeing any, so let's go check out this village over here. Also, I've been noticing a bunch of these random holes in the ground, and I'm pretty sure they're for like abandoned mine shafts. They seem to be pretty glitched out, but maybe we'll get lucky and find a loot chest in one of them. No way, are you kidding me? Is there one actually over here? Can't even make this up, let's check what's inside. Aw, dude, a bunch of stuff, but I gotta be careful here, I'm not trying to die from the slimes again. Let's just be extra careful and take these guys out. We should be safe enough now, let's loot the rest of this. Also, we have so many bundles, I should be using these things. I'm not seeing any horses at this village, but there are some donkeys. I feel like I never use donkeys for some reason, so you know what, let's just tame one of these guys. Alright, sweet, best friends again, and right away let's put our saddle on this guy. I gotta be honest though, this guy is not that fast, I might try another one of these donkeys. Yeah, give me my saddle back, donkey, you're done. You're done too, slime. Alright, let's try out this donkey right here. Hopefully he'll be a little bit faster. There we go. I think this guy likes me. Let's put the saddle on and... maybe faster? I don't know. I cannot tell if this guy's fast or not. Wait, what is up with these rails? What? One of these mine shafts is like going right through the village? That is kind of weird. Distractions aside, I think I'm happy with this donkey. We can always try to get a faster one later. I did notice that this village has not one, but 2 blacksmiths, so let's check these things out. Never know, we could get lucky and get some diamonds. Not diamonds, but more armor is very nice. And we also got a spear, which is pretty fun. Let's put this new armor on and then go check out that other blacksmith. Come on, second blacksmith, have some diamonds. Fingers crossed, and okay, wait, actually 3 diamonds, and so many apples too, what the heck? Dude, this villager is hoarding apples, oh my goodness. We also got a bunch of iron too, and some diamond horse armor, holy, like actual max win. I think I'll save these diamonds for now, but with this iron, I want to make a couple of buckets. And then with one of these, I want to grab some lava right from this blacksmith. And then with the other one, we can grab some water. Since this entire world is only what, like 3 layers of dirt, our only way of getting cobblestone is either from stealing it from villages or by using a cobblestone generator. So now that we have lava and water, we can set that up later. Let's keep looking around though. I think I want to try to get at least full iron tools before settling down. I mean, a few iron nuggets helps, I guess. Oh, and check out this axe. It has silk touch. That is very nice. We also do have an iron pick right now, so let's just turn all of this into obsidian to be a little bit safer, and then we should be able to mine up these gold blocks. But with those in hand, let's hop on our donkey and continue our adventure. Oops, I fell in a hole. Just made it to another village. I don't think it has any blacksmiths, but it does have a couple of golems, so we should be able to get at least a little bit of iron. Let's try to take out this other golem. I'm trying to take out this other golem, but there's so many slimes. Alright, here we go. Let's take this guy out. Surprisingly, we already have 10 iron, which should be enough to make the rest of the tools that we need. So let's make ourselves a sword, an axe, and a shovel. I still want to get way better gear, but this is a pretty good start. We could keep looting forever if we wanted to, but honestly, I kind of want to find a spot to set up our base. And a bit of a flashbang warning, but I did download a mod that shows where the slime chunks are, so I want to try setting up our base where, you know, there aren't slime chunks. I've been riding our donkey around for a little while trying to find an area that doesn't have a whole lot of slime chunks, and I think right here might work. Hang on, let me pull a disruptive builds and do the ortho camera mod. Yeah, look at this, check this out, not a whole lot of slime chunks. We're also like right beside a village, so that should be pretty helpful for, you know, bringing villagers over to our base. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this, so let's hop off our donkey and maybe just make like a box for him to stay in. I don't have many blocks right now, I'm just gonna make this out of hay. Alright, Mr. Donkey, can you just stay in here for now? I don't want you getting lost. Now that our donkey's safe, let's place down our crafting table and then get ourselves some sticks. And then let's use these things to make ourselves a bunch of shovels. And then with these shovels, we can mark out the perimeter of our base. I'm struggling. Please. Of course, making sure that all the slime chunks are outside of it. Hopefully I'm not making this thing too big, but the idea is to fill in this entire area with builds. Using the ortho camera mod again, we can see that all of these slime chunks are outside of the perimeter. So let's finally shut this thing off to get rid of all of those annoying green squares. We of course still have these annoying green squares to deal with, so let's try to make a wall on top of our perimeter. But in order to do that, we're gonna need more blocks. I think just using cobblestone would be perfectly fine, so let's try to set up a cobblestone generator. It's been so long since I made one of these, but I think if we do our water here and then our lava there, please turn into cobblestone. Yes, let's go, I'm gaming. The border around our base is pretty big, so there's no avoiding it. We're just gonna have to lock in and mine up a bunch of this. I've already been mining cobblestone for like 5 minutes, but our pickaxe is about to break any second. Yeah, there it goes. You know what, we do have 3 diamonds. I think I'm just gonna use these to make ourselves a new pick. I also did determine that we need 13 stacks of cobblestone, so hopefully this will speed up the process at least a little bit. I swear though, like half of this stuff is just burning in the lava. It is actually so annoying. Alrighty, but enough complaining, let's just keep on mining. Dude, no way, I was fully locked in on this cobblestone mining, but look what we just got, our first wandering trader. This is like the most viable thing in Superflat. Please have some good trades. I was really hoping for like a different type of wood sapling or something like that, but we could get the firefly bush. I mean, we could get a little bit of jungle wood too if we wanted. Let's see though, I think we have a few emeralds, maybe my bundles. Yeah, we have 6 right here. Come on over here, Mr. Wandering Trader. I'm gonna go ahead and buy one of these firefly bushes. I really don't know what else to buy. Maybe like, I don't know, should we get some jungle wood? I think I'm gonna go for it. Let's get some jungle wood. And then I guess I'll get some black dye since there aren't any squids in this world. And we still have 1 emerald, so might as well just buy one of these open eye blossoms. I definitely want to grab the leads as well, so let's grab some of this iron, make some shears, and then we should be able to just shear these guys, right? Yes, give me these leads. There we go. These are going to be super useful for moving villagers around. That was a fun distraction, but I think we got all the cobblestone that we need, so let's get to crafting. First things first, let's make a bunch of walls. And then pretty much the rest of this we can just turn into slabs. But now that we have both of these, let's head back over to our border and tear out these path blocks. And then we can patch this back in with our slabs, and then on top, do the actual walls. Maybe I should have just marked this thing out with cobblestone off the bat instead of using path blocks, but you know what, whatever, let's get this all in place. Super simple design, so it didn't take too long to build, and by the end of day 13, the entire wall was in place. This is pretty sweet. As long as we're inside of the wall, the slimes are no longer going to be able to bother us. The only thing that I'm kind of worried about is I made this way too big. Like, this is insane. I swear, it takes like half a minute just to walk to one side to the other. I've never been so stressed out to finish a build, and it's only day 14. I guess that's all the more reason to lock in and get to work. First things first, let's turn these jungle logs that we got earlier into planks. And then using these, let's make a few trapdoors. And then I just want to throw one of these on top of the wall on all 4 sides of the base so we can easily get in and out. With that taken care of, I think the next thing we should get started on is setting up a tree farm, since having a steady supply of wood is going to be pretty important. So I just grabbed all of our saplings, and let's also just make a few more slabs. And then I've already planned out where I want this thing to go, so let's just put it up maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and maybe like one more block right here. And then coming off of that, let's create a row using our cobblestone slabs. I always just do this for my oak tree farms to stop those big trees from growing, since they're such a pain to cut down. We don't have a whole lot of saplings right now, but eventually we'll get more, so just so that we can expand the farm later, let's create 2 more of these cobblestone rows. It's pretty much like the most basic tree farm that you can make, but you know what, I'm pretty happy with this. Considering that there's no caves in this world, I think the next thing that we should set up is an iron farm. And there is a bit of a trial chamber right in front of our base, so maybe let's make this thing out of tuff. I think I might try to see if we can get anything from inside as well, so just so that we're a little bit safer, let's also make a shield. That is not how you make a shield, let's make a shield. Gotta be a little bit careful of the slimes, but let's go check it out. Moment of truth, is this fully glitched or can we actually get inside? Looks like we can get in. Is there any spawners or are we okay? There's spawners, bro. Oh, it's these stupid skeleton guys. Get out of here. Ah, boop. Oh man, there's so many. There's so many. I'm scared. I'm just trying to get them to fight each other. Dude, I'm actually 2.5 hearts right now, no shot. Please tell me this is the last guy. My shield's about to break too. Oh man, that was actually a little bit too close. Oh, another guy spawned. Oh sweet, we got a key. And there is a vault, so let's throw this in here and see what we get. An enchanted book, let's see what we got. Okay, loyalty 3, that is complete booty cheeks. I did notice there's some candles over here, so let's grab them. We can use them to decorate our base. There's also some dispensers over here. Oh, with snow. Wait, we could actually get snow. What about this dispenser over here? Just some fire charges. I'm getting carried away. Let's just mine up a bunch of this tuff, which was the whole reason for coming here in the first place. I just got 3 stacks of tough bricks, so back at our base, let's turn this into the actual blocks that we need. First things first, let's make a few slabs, and then we also need some stairs, as well as a bunch of walls. We also need a few wood materials, and one of our trees has grown, so let's chop this down. We're gonna need even more wood than that though, so maybe let's just cut down some trees in this village. And while we're here, I'm also gonna take out all of the golems, since we need iron for hoppers. I'm also gonna be sure to grab all of these saplings so we can expand our tree farm. Alrighty, but now that we have a decent amount of wood, let's place down our crafting table and then get ourselves a few planks. And then using these, let's make a couple of boats. And then if I place that down here and then break this fence, hopefully the villagers will end up in the boats. Come on, villagers, don't you want inside of the boat? There we go. And then the clutch thing is, we did get some leads from that wandering trader, so let's bring these guys back to our base. Come on inside, guys. It's nice and safe in here. Alright, perfect. Just stay here for now. And before I forget, let's use these saplings that we got to expand our tree farm. With that taken care of, let's get back to work crafting the rest of the materials that we need. First off, we're going to need a few signs, as well as some trapdoors, and quite a few chests. To make this farm, we need 9 hoppers, but we don't have nearly enough iron yet. I was able to make 5, which isn't terrible, but let's just go back to the villages and try to get a little bit more. I don't see any more golems in this close by village, so I'm just going to run over to this one here. Looks like there's at least like 2 or maybe 3. Oh no, there's 4 golems here. Okay, let's go. This is like the safest village ever. How many golems? Well, I guess it's not going to be that safe once I unalive all these guys. Oh man, I got 36 iron, which should be enough, but look what I just spotted. This is like the most cursed thing ever. Oh man, the slime is going to crush them. No! I'm terrible at math. Let's just put down our crafting table and see, is this enough iron? Yeah, it sure is. That's all the hoppers that we need. Something else that we need for the farm. Oh my goodness, no. I was trying to say something else that we need for the farm is just some beds, but we can steal some from the village easy enough. The last thing that we need for this farm is just some lava, so let's try to get some from this ruined nether portal. I'm not seeing any lava, unfortunately, but there is a chest. These tools aren't great, but I'll take them. This helmet has cursive binding, definitely don't want that, but I will take this golden apple for sure. Does this thing really not have any lava though? Where's the lava at? Okay, we'll have to look somewhere else, but let's grab this gold. I know we already do have 1 lava source, but I want to save it for our cobblestone generator. I think I see some lava just over here though, so we should be chilling. There we go, got some lava. Just made it back to the base and got my inventory organized, and this right here should be everything that we need to build up the farm. Let's get started right away by digging out an area for the collection system, and with some room now, let's place down a double chest, and then going into this, we'll just do a bunch of hoppers. There we go, nice and easy. And then right behind this thing, let's make a little chamber for a zombie. And so that the zombie will drop into it, let's add a trapdoor. The tricky part is going to be actually getting a zombie into here, but the sun should be setting any minute, so some should be spawning soon. And just so that he doesn't go after our villagers, let's maybe just make a box around these guys. I'm kind of getting scared, I can't even lie, but let's go find a zombie. Okay, I just found one over here, and he's actually inside of the wall. This is perfect. Oh, a spider! Scary spider. Come on, zombie, follow me. Can you drop down into there? Bro, what is this zombie? This zombie's 2000 IQ, what? Come on, get in, get in, get in. Yes, let's go. And I almost forgot we need a name tag, but I'm pretty sure I have one in here. Yes, we do. We don't have an anvil though. Hopefully I can just name this guy name tag. Wait, can you not? No shot. Aw, dude, we do not have enough iron. Okay, let's just cover this guy up and go to sleep before things get crazy. Yeah, of course I can't sleep here. This guy shouldn't burn, but we're still at risk of him despawning. Okay, so we definitely need an anvil. Let's see how much iron we have. We have 13 and some nuggets. Any more in this chest right here? Okay, one more and a little bit more nuggets as well. Let's see, how close is this gonna get us? We need 3 blocks. We only have enough for 2. Let's quickly run back to this village, try to get a little bit more iron, and hopefully the zombie doesn't despawn. Oh dude, we are so close, we just need 2 more iron. I'm waiting for a golem to spawn. Let's see, is our zombie still here? No. Well, I guess it doesn't matter at this point. Let's just run over to this further village. And perfect, there is another golem over here. And finally, we have enough iron to make ourselves an anvil. Let's place this puppy down, and then we can name our name tag. I have a super creative, just like awesome name. Let's call this guy Green Guy. That was a bit of a setback for sure, but the sun is already setting again, so let's try to get another zombie in here. Do not blow my farm up, I'm serious. No! Oh my goodness. Please, creepers. No, 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 no. Oh, dude, you're kidding. Okay, there is a zombie over here. Please come over here, zombie. All right, you are now Green Guy. Let's just cover this up so he doesn't burn and then go straight to sleep. All right, are you good in here, Mr. Zombie? Yeah, I think you're chilling. I think that should be the hardest part of the farm done, so let's build up the rest of this. Now's probably a good time to mention this is not my design. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to redstone, so I followed a tutorial by Waddles. The only other hard part was just getting the villagers in place, but besides that, it was pretty easy to build. It's definitely not the prettiest farm in the world, and you might have noticed there's not any iron golems yet because there's just one more thing we gotta do. And that's open this trapdoor right here and then break that block, and then the zombies should scare the villagers and then cause the golems to spawn. And there we go, we already got ourselves our first golem, let's go. And then our lava is right in there, so the golem is gonna burn, and then the iron will end up right in this chest. Believe it or not, this is only the second iron farm that I've ever made in this game, so I'm super happy that it's working first try. I feel like we might as well use this iron right away to make ourselves some new tools since our current ones are kind of chopped. And while we're at it, let's also make a couple of hoes since the next thing I want to set up is some crop farms. And I'm thinking we can make it just over here, so let's start off by digging out some spots for some water. And then we can of course add the actual water sources. And then just so that we're not falling in these, let's cover them up with some slabs. And then on top of all of the slabs, let's add a wall so we can add some lanterns later. And just to make the farm a little bit more interesting, I'm going to divide this up into 4 different sections. Something just like this. Let's go see what seeds we have. I'm pretty sure we have a few different things. Yeah, we have some carrots here. We have... Okay, sweet. We do have potatoes too. I would like to plant some actual just like wheat though. Do we have any of those seeds? It's actually not looking like it. That is kind of surprising. That's all good. Let's just steal some from this nearby village. Oh, and there's also some beetroots here too. Very cool. We have 4 different crop types now and 4 sections in our farm, so we might as well just dedicate one of these to each of them. So this first guy right here can be for potatoes, the second one for carrots, number 3 can be beetroots. Also, how do I only get the advancement for beetroots and not carrots or potatoes? Kind of weird. And last but not least, plot number 4 can be for wheat. Our farm is looking pretty sweet now. The only thing that we're missing is our lanterns, so let's go make those. That of course means we need some iron. Let's see how much that we have now. Oh geez, over a stack already? Okay, let's go. The other thing we need to make lanterns is of course some torches, but there's obviously not any like coal that we can mine in this world, so we're gonna have to make a furnace and make some charcoal. I think I'm out of logs though, so let's just place this down and then go cut down some trees. And quite a few have grown at this point, so I think I'm just gonna lock in and cut them all down. I just got over a stack of logs, so let's just throw maybe like 10 in the bottom here and 10 in the top, and then we should get some charcoal. The charcoal is already ready, so let's grab that, and then we can turn it into some torches, and then we gotta get ourselves some nuggets, and then we can finally make all of our lanterns. But now that we have these, we can add them to our farm, and then we can officially call this thing done. Next up, I want to add some animals to our base, but let's do it in style by building a barn. One of the main materials that I want to use to build it is stone, but honestly, our current cobblestone generator really sucks, so I think let's make a better one. In order to do that, we're just going to need a few materials, for example, some chests. We're also going to need some hoppers, which are no problem to make now that we have a bunch of iron. And then last but not least, we just need a few stairs. Alright, perfect. Now that we have all of the materials that we need, let's start off by adding our chests, and then feeding into these, we can do our hoppers, and then just wrapping around this, we can do some full blocks, and then we just gotta raise this up one more layer, and then right above these chests, let's do some stairs, and then at the very end here, just a sign, and then we can go right on ahead and waterlog all of these stairs. The last thing we gotta do is just add some lava, so let's grab the one from our old cobblestone generator. Hopefully I didn't mess this up, but I think if we just do the lava right here, it should turn all of this into cobblestone. Or I guess regular stone, but you know what I mean, but it does seem to be working. And then we can simply just come here and mine like 4 blocks at once, and then the hoppers are going to pick them up, and then it should be going right into these chests. Okay, this is awesome. This is going to be so much more efficient. I swear, with that old cobblestone generator, we were losing like half of the stuff that we mined. Anyway, I'm just going to mine this for a minute or two, and then we should have all the cobble that we need for our barn. Let's see how much that we have now. Almost 2 stacks here, another 2 stacks pretty much. How about in these ones here? Okay, just 2 and nothing in that one, but that kind of makes sense. I do want a decent amount of this stuff to be regular stone, so we're gonna have to smelt it down, and just to speed up the process, let's make a couple more furnaces. Let's place these down and then get a bunch of this cobble smelting. I'm low-key kind of out of fuel though, so we're gonna have to make more charcoal. Also, I don't even know if it's like more efficient to make the charcoal instead of just using the logs directly to smelt the cobble. I'm not sure. No way, I've been waiting for this stuff to smelt, but look what we just got, our second wandering trader. I feel like these trades could be so much better. I mean, we could get pale oak, but we don't have 20 emeralds. Let's see, if I sell him some hay bales, how many emeralds can I get? 2, are you serious? You know what, let's just unlock ferns, I guess that's something. Maybe someday we'll get a spruce sapling, but anyway, let's get back to work on our barn. Still have a bunch of stuff to craft, and maybe just to make our life a little bit easier, let's make a stone cutter. Can then place this bad boy down, and then use it to turn the rest of this stone into all of the different blocks that we're going to need. While we're at it, we can also craft some cobblestone and tough materials too. That should take care of all the stone type materials, but we do need a decent amount of wood stuff, especially stripped logs, so I'm just going to strip these as I cut them down to save some time. 48 of the stripped logs should be enough, so let's just cut down the rest of these as normal. But now that we have a decent amount of wood, let's turn all of these into planks, and then using those we can make some fences, fence gates, as well as slabs, stairs, and trapdoors. I almost forgot that I wanted to use some polished tuff, but I'm pretty sure there's some, yeah, just right here in the trial chamber, so let's mine some of this up. I think I exhausted all the polished tuff that's in this part of the trial chamber, so I'm gonna poke my head in here. Hopefully there's a little bit more, and hopefully it's safe as well. Oh my goodness, wait, I should have brought a shield. There's a slime here, bro. That slime jump scared me so bad. Alright, let's be smart here and quickly make ourselves a new shield, and our sword is about to break, so let's make a new one of those too. We still gotta be careful, but let's head back inside here. Alright, where are the scary mobs at? What is going on here? What is this? Oh my goodness, get out of here. Oh, I'm getting kind of low, I'm scared. I think this is the last guy right here. Get out of here, dude. And check this out, we got another key. Alright, let's throw this into this vault and see what we get. Some arrows, an ominous bottle, oh, another enchanted book. With Riptide 1, are you kidding me? That is like the worst enchant ever. Not really a whole lot we can do about that. Let's just grab the rest of the polished tuff that we need and then get out of here. I got all the tuff that we need. Wait, what is that? Oh, dude, I think it was one of those like new zombie horse things, but let's just go back home where it's safe. We're just about done with these barn materials, and to stay organized, I've been putting everything inside of this chest. Unfortunately, we just didn't get quite enough wood from that last tree harvest, but most of these have grown already, so I'm going to do one more big chop, and then we should have everything that we need. The rest of the materials have been acquired, so finally we have every single block that we need to build up this barn. We're working with pretty limited materials, so for the main structure of the barn, I used all of our oak, and then moving up to the roof, I created the trim out of our stone, and then filled in the rest with our tough blocks. I'm already really happy with how this thing is looking, but there's still a few final details that I want to add, for example, a couple of buttons on these logs and a lantern right above the entrance. And I really like how you can just run right through the barn, but anyway, let's repeat the same thing at the back, so another lantern right there and a couple more buttons. And then for a bit of a storage area, I thought we could do a couple barrels right here and then a crafting table right in the middle. And then right above that, let's create a shelf out of oak trapdoors. And then on top of this, we can do a lantern and a chest. We also have a bit of a loft up here, so just so we can access it, let's place down some ladders. Now we can easily just come right on up, And now that we're up here, let's make it a little bit safer by surrounding this hole with some fences. I also want to make sure no mobs are spawning up here, so let's do maybe a lantern on both sides and one right in the middle. And then there's not a whole lot of room up here, but maybe let's just do a few hay bales and then maybe just a couple of barrels in this corner right here. Super simple yet cozy up here. I think I'm happy with this. As cool as our barn is, it really doesn't have a whole lot of space inside of it, so I think I want to build some animal pens coming off of it. Already got some fences here, but let's do a log at the end and a slab on top. And then coming off of this, we can probably just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then another log. And then sticking to that same design, we can do a slab on it, and then 5 more fences, another log, and another slab. And then we can just connect this back up to the barn. Doesn't really need to be any more complicated than this, but just for one final detail, let's add some lanterns on top of the fence. I think I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to repeat the exact same design on the other side of the barn too. So that means more fences, more logs and slabs, and last but not least, more lanterns. Our barn is really taking shape. I am super happy with this, and as you can see, we already have some like entry points for these pens, but let's just make them a little bit more official by adding some gates. There's just one final detail that I want to add, and that's some flower pots in front of these like second floor windows, but to do that, we're going to need some bricks. And because I'm 34 IQ, I know that there's some clay blocks inside of some of these villager houses, so let's pick these up. Alright, well maybe the real smart play would just be buying some from these villagers. And I can also just sell my clay for an emerald and then use that to buy bricks, so we don't gotta bother smelting this stuff. Anyway, we got ourselves 20 bricks now, so let's just turn all of these into flower pots. We just need some flowers to put inside of these, so let's grab some poppies from our iron farm. With both of these in hand, let's head over to our barn and pillar up, and then we can go bing, bang, boom, and then fill these in with our poppies. It adds a nice little natural touch and a pop of color to the barn, so I'm pretty happy with that. And we have the materials for it, so we might as well just repeat the exact same thing at the back. Alrighty, but with that taken care of, there's just one more thing to do, and that's bring some actual animals into our barn. There's hardly like any animals around here though. There's like a single sheep. I guess let's just grab this guy. Come with me, Mr. Sheepy. Whoa, what's up with his neck? Oh my goodness, he was eating grass. Come on in, welcome to your new home. We're of course gonna need 2 sheep, so let's go find this guy a friend. Come on, where are all the sheep at? Hopefully this faraway village will have some animal pens. Any animals? Oh, okay, some cows. And here we go, I found another sheep too. I just realized though that my helmet broke. That kind of sucks. Ah! I gotta stop trolling with the F5. I keep just running into slimes. Alrighty, here we are though, made it back to the barn. Come over here, Mr. Sheep. There we go, got 2 of these guys now. And then the cows can hang out on this other side. We now have our sheep over here and then the cows on this side, so our barn is officially done. I would like to breed the animals, so let's do a big harvest of all of our crops. And as always, I'll be a good farmer and replant everything. With this newly obtained wheat, let's breed our cows. There we go. Oh yeah, baby cow. I guess you can breed 2 sheep. Oh my gosh, look at the little baby sheep. I think it's about time that we upgrade to diamond tools and armor, as that's really going to speed up our base building process as well as make us safer, so it's time to do some villager trading. I plan to build a trading hall later in this video, but for now just a pit in the ground will work. I tried to make it decently big so the villagers won't be too crowded. Look at me, very thoughtful, making a nice pit for these villagers, and I also added a trapdoor so we can easily get in and out. And then just to make this thing a little bit safer, let's add a wall going all the way around it. And sweet, that's our villager pit done. With that set up, let's head over to this village right beside our base and steal all of the villagers. Into the pit you go. That's 1 villager, time to steal the rest. I want this guy to get into the boat. Not you, nitwit. No, I don't want the nitwits. Alright, get into the boat again. There we go. Nitwit, goodbye. I'm sorry, but yeah, you gotta go, dude. Dude, get out of the boat, no way. Another villager over here, let's go. Bro, how? Okay, there. Villagers make no sense, I swear. Got a pretty good haul this time. Look at this, 3 villagers at one time. I think there still might be a few more though, so I'm just gonna quickly get the rest of these guys. I checked the entire village, and these 4 right here should be the last of them. And now that all of these guys are moved over, I think it's a good idea to break all of the beds and the workstations. Hopefully doing so should stop these guys from trying to link to their old homes. And for that matter, I'm also going to get rid of all of these golems just so that there's no funny business. And I guess if we're just like tearing this place apart, we might as well grab all of the hay bales too. Get away from my hay bales. We got so many beds from that village, let's place these all back down inside of our pit. And while we're down here, I think it's also a good idea to add a bit of lighting. And since we got quite a few hay bales from the village, let's turn it into wheat and then make a bunch of bread. And then if we give that to the villagers, hopefully that'll help them breed. And look at that, we already got some hearts, let's go. I think it's about time that we give our villagers some professions, so let's craft some workstations. First things first, I'll make a couple of looms, and then we can also do some blast furnaces, a few grindstones, and some smithing tables. I'd also like to make a librarian, but to do that we're going to need a bookshelf, but I think we do have some books. Yeah, we have 1 book here and then 2 enchanted books. So we can actually make use of one of these grindstones that we made and put these enchanted books through here to turn them into regular books. Now that we have 3 books, we can make a bookshelf, and then we can turn that into a lectern. Now that we have a bunch of workstations, let's hop into our villager pit and place these all down. That's if these villagers would get out of the way. Can you please move? Alright, sweet, all of our workstations are now in place, so it's time to get to trading. Holy cow, how many babies did these guys make though? Look at this, what the heck? I don't want these guys making any more babies, I'm gonna get rid of all of these beds now. Hopefully getting rid of the beds will also stop these golems from spawning, because that's probably messing up our iron farm. Just gonna use our lava to get rid of these guys, and hopefully that'll solve any problems. I want our farm to be running as efficiently as possible, as this is going to be our main source of emeralds. We got quite a bit of this stuff though, so let's do some trading. And because I'm lazy, I decided to add like an automatic reroll thing so we can easily get the trades that we want. Anyway, I'm trying to find an iron trade, but I think it might be a tier 2 trade. So we're gonna have to upgrade these guys a little bit first, and in order to do that, we need some emeralds. So we do have some other villager types that we can try trading with, for example, these shepherds. If we're able to get a white wool trade, yeah, here we go, we can trade that for emeralds. I have been breeding our animals a little bit in between clips, but honestly, I don't even know if this is gonna be enough for 1 emerald. You gotta be kidding me, 11 wool, and I think we need 18. Anyways, let's keep breeding these guys, since the more sheep that we have, the more wool we can get. I feel like all we need to do is unlock 1 iron trade, and then it should be smooth sailing from there, so maybe let's try trading with some farmers instead. If we could get like 2 different crops together, yeah, like this, potatoes and wheat, I think that's going to be ideal. And I already came prepared with a few different crops, so let's trade some potatoes with this guy. And we can also trade a little bit of wheat too. Now that we have some emeralds, let's maybe try trading with one of our toolsmiths. I guess one of these just like basic stone tool trades is fine, it's mainly just for the XP. That got him about halfway, so we just need like 5 more emeralds. I guess let's do more farmer trades, so it's time for another harvest. I just got a bunch more crops, but while we're kind of in like chore mode right now, let's also shear and breed our sheep again. I got a bunch more stuff to trade now, let's see how many emeralds we can get. Trade all of our wheat, we can also trade all of our potatoes, and we can also trade all of our carrots and our beetroots with a second farmer. We also have a decent amount of wool now, so we can also do a trade with our shepherd. We have 18 of the shiny green stuff now, so let's trade with our toolsmith again and try to get this guy to tier 2. Looks like he's unlocking some new trades, please be iron, yes, let's go. Now it's time for the real stonks, let's see how many emeralds we can get. Oh my goodness, a lot. And then this guy's gonna upgrade his trades once again, and a diamond hoe, not exactly what I'm looking for, but not bad. We can already trade more iron with him, okay, let's do that right away. Then he's gonna upgrade his trades once again, please, like a diamond pickaxe or something like that. Okay, diamond axe and a shovel. Only efficiency 2 and unbreaking 2 on them, but honestly that's pretty good. The process of trading with villagers is pretty repetitive, but it had to be done, so I just locked in for a few days and continued trading. I also took a few breaks in between trading to harvest our crops and gather more wool from our sheep in order to get even more of the shiny green stuff. After trading our iron and everything else, I managed to get close to 2 stacks of emeralds. It's not a whole lot, but definitely enough to do some shopping, and first things first, I want to buy this efficiency 2 axe. And then let's also buy this pickaxe that has efficiency 2 and unbreaking 2. And then considering this is hardcore, let's buy this diamond chest plate which has protection 2 and unbreaking 3. Only 37 emeralds left, but I guess let's buy this diamond sword that has looting 1. As for the rest of the shiny green stuff, I want to try getting a silk touch book from our librarian. And even with this mod that we have, oh, no, never mind. I was going to say it's going to take a while, but we just got it. We don't have any books though to purchase this, so let's first get a bookshelf. Then we can place this down and break it. And now that we have some regular books, we can get the silk touch book. And then right away, I want to use our anvil to add this thing to our pickaxe so we can easily get stone. You know what though, to celebrate getting some diamond tools and armor, as well as making it to the halfway point in this challenge, I think it's about time to go check in on my cats. I have 2 super cute cats, Munchie and Mittens, and I like to use them to guilt trip you into liking and subscribing. For real though, taking a quick second to like the video and maybe subscribing if you haven't already is such a big way to support this channel, so I really do appreciate it. Getting back to Minecraft, I want to keep building as we still have so much empty space inside of our border. That of course means we need some blocks to build with, so let's cut down all of our trees. And now that we have a better diamond axe, this should go by super quick. And honestly, with how much wood that we're going to need for all of the stuff that I want to build, I think we should make 3 more of these cobblestone rows so we can make our tree farm even bigger. This looks kind of crazy now, I'm not going to lie, but when we cut down our trees now, we should get a bunch of wood. While we wait for all of our trees to grow up, let's get to work gathering up a bunch of stone with our brand new silk touch pick. This thing is also so much faster because it has efficiency 2, so hopefully we'll be able to get a bunch in no time. Alrighty, I just mined stone for like 2 days straight. I have not checked these chests. Okay, almost like 9 stacks there, pretty much the same thing here, quite a bit in this one as well, and nothing in that one. That is super awesome, but I also just want some like regular cobblestone, so let's see if we can maybe buy a pick that doesn't have silk touch. So come on over here, Mr. Weaponsmith, I have a bunch of iron to sell you. And we can also sell some to this toolsmith too. We got 59 of the shiny green stuff now, so let's buy ourselves a second pick. And we still do have quite a few emeralds, so we might as well get ourselves a shovel too. But now that we have a pick that doesn't have silk touch on it, let's log in for a few minutes and get ourselves a bunch of cobblestone. It's been a few minutes, so we should have a bunch of cobblestone now, so let's grab this as well as some of our stone. And now that we have this, let's quickly swing over to our stone cutter and make a bunch of cobblestone slabs, as well as regular stone slabs, and last but not least, stone brick slabs. I want to use all these slabs to build some pathways around our base, but in order to do that, we're going to need to dig out some space for them. I really wish I could insta-mine with this shovel, but it only has efficiency 2. I just had an idea though, what if we buy a second shovel and then combine them? I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can insta-mine grass with efficiency 3, so let's try it out. Here we go, moment of truth. I still can't. I can insta-mine the dirt, just not the grass. That kind of sucks. That would have saved us a decent amount of time, but whatever, I'm just gonna brute force this and dig it all out. We're nearly done digging this all out, but our donkey is kind of in the way, so let's just break these 2 hay bales right here and then hop on this guy. And then maybe let's just bring him over here beside the barn. Can you just stay over here, Mr. Donkey? Thank you very much. And now that our donkey's moved over, we can tear down this old temporary pen. And I guess our chests and furnaces and whatnot are still kind of in the way, but we'll deal with those later. Now that we have all the space cleared out, I want to get to placing in all of the slabs, but before we get to that, let's cut down all of our trees again. It's a little bit tedious always chopping these down, but I'm just trying to stockpile as much wood as possible. We are making pretty good progress though, because after cutting everything down, we have over 6 stacks of logs. But with that taken care of, let's finally get to placing in this pathway, and I'm just going to mix our stone bricks, our regular stone, and our cobblestone together just for the sake of texture variation. And it's easiest to see this from a bird's eye view, but with these pathways, we're breaking up the base into a bunch of different sections, which is going to make this project much more manageable as we can focus on detailing each section at a time. Even though our base still is quite empty, I feel like this makes it feel so much more established. And I was noticing that our barn felt a little bit disconnected from our pathway, so let's just dig out this grass inside of the actual barn. I got all the grass cleared out, so let's just fill this back in with our same palette of cobblestone, stone bricks, and regular stone. That was a super easy change to make, and it just makes the barn feel a lot more in place. One of the bad things about this pathway is that it kind of broke our iron farm. As you can see, there's a bunch of golems all over the place. There used to be path blocks all around this thing, which the golems can't spawn on, but I had to get rid of them when we added our pathway. I think I do have a solution though, so let's come over to our cobblestone generator and grab a bunch of our stone, and then we can turn all of this into buttons. It might look a tad bit weird, but I'm just going to add the buttons going around the entire pathway around the farm, and that should hopefully stop the golems from spawning where they shouldn't. Alright, sweet, I got all of the buttons in place, so the last thing to do is just kill these golems that escaped, and then that should be the farm fixed. I swear though, there's so many of these guys that just spawned all over the place, it's kind of annoying. I think this is the last one right here though, so we should be good now. With that fixed, let's get started on filling up some of these empty sections, beginning with this big one right here. I mean, it does have our villagers in it right now, but eventually I'll be moving these guys. I plan on putting our starter house, as well as a couple of other buildings here instead, and to build those, we're going to need a ton of wood, so let's cut down all of our trees once again. But now that we have a bunch of wood, let's do a little bit of crafting. First things first, we can just turn a bunch of these logs into planks, and then with those, we can make a decent amount of stairs, and we're also going to need a ton of slabs. And while we're in crafting mode, I also want to make a bunch of lanterns, as well as a bunch of cobblestone walls. Now that we have a bunch of materials, let's get building, and the first thing I want to do is build a bunch of pillars, as I was thinking it'd be fun to put our starter house on a bit of a platform, so let's build that first. Kinda hard to count while I'm talking, but I'm just trying to space these all 5 blocks apart, going around the entire section. I got those all marked out, and for the ones at the very front, I just want to raise them up 2 blocks and then do a lantern on the very top. This should be the last one right here, a couple logs and 1 more lantern, and yeah, we're looking good. As for the rest of these spots that we marked out, let's come up an additional 6 blocks this time, so I think that's 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then once again we'll do a lantern. I think you get the idea though, so let's just go ahead and get the rest of these all raised up. Alright, great. Now that all of those are in place, let's build up some staircases so we can access the actual platform. And we can just keep these super simple and continue using our oak. This should be the last row of stairs right here, and then we'll have the platform at this height, but before we get to actually building that, let's build 2 more of these staircases. I went ahead and got the other 2 staircases in place, so let's head up to the top here and start connecting these pillars up with some slabs. Alright, awesome. Now that all of the pillars are connected up, all we gotta do is fill in the rest of the space, once again using our slabs. And maybe now you understand why I've been cutting down our trees all the time, as this is a lot of oak wood. We can actually walk up here now, which is super nice, but just to make this thing a little bit safer, let's add some walls going all the way around the outer edge of the platform. And I'd also like these staircases to be connected to the pathway, so let's just take out these grass blocks. And then with that space cleared out, we can just use the exact same stone blocks that we've been using for the pathways to get these connected up. And since we have some open space underneath the platform, I thought it'd be fun to make a small glowberry farm since we got some of these all the way back on day like 5 or 6 in one of the mine shafts. Alrighty, but with that set up, I think it's about time to get to work on our starter house, which I want to build up here, so let's go gather some materials. First off, I cut down all of our trees again. I know, big shocker. But with a ton of wood in hand, I crafted all of the wood materials that we needed. Afterwards, I crafted all of the stone type blocks, as I still had a decent amount of stone left over from the last time we used our cobblestone generator. I then ran over to the nearby village and stole all of their windows with our silk touch pick. Last but not least, I purchased more bricks from the mason and then used those to craft a few different brick type blocks. As I like to do, I've just been compiling everything inside of a chest, and this right here should be everything that we need, so let's get straight to building. The house itself is a pretty straightforward design, just a lot of wood beams, and then I filled in the gaps in between them with a lot of the different stone blocks. As for the roof, I made the trim out of oak, and then filled in the rest with stone and stone bricks. I'm honestly pretty happy with how this thing turned out, especially for how few different blocks that we used. We were even able to add a small balcony, and at the very top is a chimney. And then just to break up the shape a little bit, I also added these kind of like smaller roof sections on either side of the house. Taking a look inside, I really haven't done a whole lot in here yet, so let's get this set up a little bit better. Maybe let's just start with the ceiling / second floor, and we do have the door for the balcony right there, so I'm going to put it at this height. And let's just keep it super simple and use slabs for the whole thing. And then for these sections where the windows are, maybe we can just use stairs. Yeah, something just like that works. Maybe we should connect this beam all the way across though. How does that look? Yeah, I think I like that. So let's do the same thing over on this side, 3 logs, a few stairs at the top, and then a couple of slabs to finish it off. We definitely need a way to get to the second floor, so maybe let's just dig out this block right here and then do some ladders. Please tell me there's no mobs up here. Okay, we're good. Just to ensure nothing spawns up here, let's add a few torches. And then just because of the way that we built this house, the ceiling is pretty tall, so let's add a couple of beams going all the way across the top. And then just like we did with the first floor, let's add a bunch of slabs. I think that's looking much better now, and let's take a look from our balcony. How's our base looking? It is kind of rainy out here, but looking good. Because of how flat this world is, it's almost weird being this high up. Anyway, since we built the ceiling, we kind of created like an attic, so let's get rid of this slab right here and then do more ladders. Probably not really going to do a whole lot in here, but let's just add a couple of torches. We're set up pretty good now though. We have our attic, our second floor, and our main floor. Now that this is all set up, let's add some smaller decorations like a crafting table, and then beside this, maybe just a couple of barrels, and then let's just fill in the rest of this wall with chests. For a bit of color, let's add a poppy inside of a flower pot, and then we can also place down some of these candles that we got in the trial chamber, and then maybe just right here in the center, let's place down our stone cutter. I also got one of these ominous banners, so maybe let's just place it there, and then right here in the center, let's do a bell. Then maybe over here can be our smelting area, so let's just do a few furnaces, and on top, another poppy and more candles. I think that's looking pretty good, and let's make this other side our bedroom, beginning with a bed. And then beside that, let's do another chest and a crafting table and our very last candle. I think it'd be nice to add some carpets inside of our house, so let's quickly shear all of our sheep. And then let's quickly grab some poppies from our iron farm, because we can turn these into red dye, and then make some red wool, and a bunch of red carpets. And now that we have these, we can make a couple of rugs inside of our house. Oh yeah, we also do have an anvil right here, so let's pick this up. And then maybe let's just do it like, I don't know, maybe just on this wall right here. And you know what, with that, I think I'm happy to call this interior done. It's pretty simple, but I quite like it. But now that it's set up in here, let's get these items transferred over from these temporary chests into our actual house. I'm kind of tired of living outside. This is going to be really nice. It took a few minutes, but I got it all cleaned up out here. We honestly do not have a whole lot of items, so just in this chest I put all of our wood stuff. In this next one is all of our stone type blocks as well as our bricks. Right next to that is the barrel with all of our valuables, which is, yeah, not much. In the barrel beside that one, we have all of our tools. In this next double chest, we have all of our vegetation, and then in this very final one, we have all of our miscellaneous items. I also added a little bit of storage on the second floor as well, so in this chest right here, we have all of our extra dirt, and then in this one right here, all of those villager beds. I just realized something. I did not make these rugs the same size. Look at that. What was I thinking? Let me just get rid of those. I don't know how I did not notice that before, but I think we're good now. I still do plan on adding a couple more structures on this platform since there is still quite a bit of open space on either side of the house. But before we get to that, I think we should take care of our villagers because I feel kind of bad for them down here. I mean, like, they can't even see the sun anymore with this platform above them. It's kind of depressing. So we might as well confine them to a 1x1 area for the rest of their lives by building a trading hall. Jokes aside, we do need a new axe, so let's sell some iron, and then we can buy ourselves a new one to replace this nearly broken one. With that taken care of, let's get to work on gathering up all the materials for our trading hall, and I think I do have most of the stuff that we need already inside of our house, but we do need some oak leaves. And then we're also running kind of low on cobblestones. Let's just spend a few minutes at our generator here, and then we should be good. At this point, it's really just a matter of crafting, and since I'm pretty much going to use the same blocks as all of our other builds, I'm just going to go ahead and get this all prepped, and then I'll tell you the game plan. That took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, but we now have every single block that we need to build up this trading hall. And because I don't want this thing to mess up our iron farm over here, I'm going to build this on the complete opposite side of the base. Getting straight to it, I made the shape of the build a simple rectangle so that we'll have lots of space inside for the trading hall. I still tried to add some fun details though, like some windows right in the roof and a lot of leaves and lanterns for even more decoration. This thing is looking pretty awesome if I do say so myself, and heading inside you can see I already have all of the stalls set up for the villagers. So all we gotta do now is actually get the villagers inside of here. I was gonna set up a rail system, but I cannot be bothered right now, so I decided to add another mod that allows us to pick up villagers right in our inventory. This is seriously so broken, but also so awesome. That is so cursed, our inventory is full of villagers. Alrighty, but I got all of the workstations as well, so maybe let's just place those down first. And then all we gotta do now is place down the corresponding villagers. And hopefully these guys should still have their trades. Yeah, we're looking good. Alright, that's perfect. Just gotta get the rest of the guys in here and then we should be good to go. Now that it's fully set up, we should do some trading, so let's quickly grab all of our iron. And then we can of course trade this for a bunch of the shiny green stuff. And then I want to set up an enchanting house soon, so let's head over to our cleric here and try to upgrade this guy to tier 2 so we can get some lapis. He just upgraded his trades and look at that, he's already offering us some lapis. That is actually so clutch, let's get a bunch of this. The other thing we need for our enchanting house is a bunch of bookshelves, but these are pretty pricey at 9 emeralds a piece. That'd be over 2 stacks of emeralds just to get 15 bookshelves, which is super expensive. So I think instead I want to try finding a stronghold and then we can steal a bunch of bookshelves from there. And from what I heard in Superflat, all of the strongholds spawn at the exact same coordinates, so let's put that to the test. Okay, I think I just found it, but that looks absolutely cursed. I did not realize it was going to be like this. This is so cool. We of course came here for books, but I also want to check out all of these chests. Wow, 2 pieces of bread, not great. I think this is the actual portal room. Yeah, it is. Silverfish, get out of here, please. Alright, let's keep looting though. I want to check out this chest right here. Bit of redstone, some iron leggings, and some golden armor. I'm really hoping we can find a couple of diamonds, since we need those to make our enchanting table. Finally made it to one of the libraries. We got a chest right here with, oh my goodness, a bunch of books. As well as 4 enchanted books, protection 3, smite 3. Right here we have efficiency 3, and holy, this this book. But of course, while we're here, let's grab our 15 bookshelves. Alright, sweet, I got all of those that we need, so let's just break the rest of these with our regular axe and get a bunch of books. I got all of the books on this top layer, so let's head down into the second layer, being careful not to fall down. And there is another chest over here, let's see what's inside. More books, a little bit of paper, another eye armor trim, and 2 enchanted books. This one has lunge 3 and smite 4, and this one has efficiency 4. I'm gonna very carefully break the rest of these bookshelves, and then we can loot the rest of the structure. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of books. We really just need to find some diamonds now, so let's check out the rest of these loot chests. Not diamonds, but another ender pearl and the other side music disc. I mean, that stuff's cool, but we just really need some diamonds right now. There is another library, maybe we can have some luck here. No, just more books. This one has mending on it, very nice. And punch 1, fire protection 3, and efficiency 3. I think there should be, oh my goodness, oh, I just had a heart attack. Okay, let's keep checking these chests. Oh, come on, where are the diamonds? I have never seen enchanted books like this in a stronghold. Like, look at this thing. We still do need to find a couple of diamonds to make our enchanting table, but I'm not seeing any more chests inside of the stronghold, so maybe let's go check out this blacksmith. Come on, game, just be nice to me for once, please, some diamonds. Oh wait, what? You cannot even make this up. 2 diamonds, that is so clutch. No way, and a wandering trader right outside of the blacksmith. What is going on right now? What do you have for us, Mr. Wandering Trader? Ooh, some moss blocks. I really want these moss blocks, but we don't have any emeralds. Maybe we can get lucky in one of these houses we'll have some. Nope. Come on, I just need 1 emerald, please. No. Maybe let's try making a farmer, and then we can get an emerald from that guy. Do one of you guys want to be a farmer? Yeah, there we go. Just need to grab a little bit of wheat that we can trade with him. Alright, come over here, guy. Give me some emeralds. Alright, and then here's the Wandering Trader, so let's buy our moss block. And I guess we still do have 6 emeralds, so let's buy one of these acacia saplings. That was a super successful adventure, but we're quickly running out of days, so let's head back to the base. On our way back though, I am going to make a little pit stop to grab some obsidian, since we need this to make our enchanting table. Yeah, I think 20 should be plenty, let's get out of here. Just made it back to the base, so let's hitch our donkey back up to the barn. And then in our house, let's get our inventory organized, since it's absolutely overflowing right now. That is much better, so let's finally go on ahead and make ourselves our enchanting table. But now that we have some bookshelves, as well as an enchanting table, let's get straight to work on building up our enchanting house. The only thing that we're missing to build this thing is some mossy cobblestone, but we should be able to steal some from the village easy enough. I know we did get some moss blocks from the Wandering Trader, but I think those will just be easier. Alrighty, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get all the other materials together, and then we can get straight to building. Since we're running so low on days, and there's still a bunch of stuff that I want to make, I decided to just build straight through the night. Anyway, as for the enchanting house itself, I went with a super simple open air concept. I'm kind of glad we're building this thing at night because it looks pretty cool, but anyways, let's finally add in all of our bookshelves. And then right here in the center, we can do our enchanting table, and then at the back, let's do a barrel, an anvil, and a grindstone. And then for one final decoration, let's do a couple of flower pots, and inside, a dandelion and a poppy. And we definitely gotta try this thing out, so maybe let's just put our sword through our grindstone, as it only has looting 1 on it right now. I feel like that's kind of trash. Oh man, unbreaking 3, please give me something else, I'm begging. Okay, sharpness 3 and knockback 2, I'll take it. Our platform is definitely shaping up, however, we still do have a bunch of empty space on the other side of our house, and right here I was thinking we could do an area for brewing. That means we need some soul sand and nether wart, all that good stuff, so I think it's about time that we build ourselves a nether portal. And we can't just build some basic old portals, so I built a small platform at a tuff for it to sit on. I plan on adding more decorations around the portal itself later, but for now I think this is pretty good. I want to head inside, but before we do, let's quickly gear up. I'm pretty sure we have at least a little bit of gold. Yeah, we have 28. Let's use this to make ourselves some golden boots. We also have a bunch of apples, so let's use those and the rest of our gold to make some golden apples. And then I also want to try getting a little bit more diamond armor, so let's head back to our trading hall. Quickly just sell some of our iron, and then we can buy some diamond leggings and a diamond helmet. That's already going to make us way safer, but let's just check these enchanted books that we got from the stronghold. We have a protection 3 one, that would be good, and this one also has protection 3. We also have this crazy book right here, so maybe let's add the sharpness to our sword. Alrighty, back at our enchanting house, let's get to work. First off, I'll add this protection book onto our helmet, and then we can add this book right here to get protection 3 and mending on our leggings. And then last but not least, let's add the sharpness 4 book onto our sword. It's still not the best armor in the world, but definitely better than what we currently have. Alright, but enough stalling, it's finally time to head inside the nether. Looks like we got a pretty decent spawn right in a warped forest. I'm actually pretty hyped about that because I want to use a bunch of this stuff to build our base. So while we're here, I'm just going to go ahead and cut down a bunch of these trees. 2 stacks of the warped wood should be plenty, but just while we're here, let's also grab a bunch of this vegetation. Yeah, for that matter, I might even grab a bunch of this like blue netherrack. I don't even know what this stuff is called, but I'm going to grab some. I got a bunch of the warped blocks to work with now, but let's not get too carried away and continue our adventure. What I'm really on the hunt for is a fortress. Oh, there's the fort. Even though we have decent diamond armor, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit scared to explore this thing. Oh, that's why I'm scared. Oh my goodness. How many wither skeletons here? What? How are you hitting me? Of course, like right where I entered the fortress is a spawner. Oh my goodness. Dude, oh, get me out. I really just want to get our nether wart and our soul sand and then get out of here. Over here looks promising, but of course there's a bunch of blazes. Get out of here. Okay, sweet. There is nether wart down here though. This is perfect. Ooh, bit of a loot chest over here. Anything cool? Not really. Not today, buddy. Stop guarding the loot chest, Blaze. What's in this bad boy? Ooh, an armor trim. The rib armor trim. Let's go. What about in this bad boy right here? Just a bit of gold. I could keep looting this place forever, but you know what? We got our nether wart and our soul sands. Let's get out of here. What I'm on the hunt for now is a crimson biome as well as some gravel. After a few minutes of looking around, I found this super small crimson biome, but you know what? We don't really need a whole lot of this stuff, so I'm just gonna grab a little bit. And just like with the warped forest, I'm gonna grab all of the vegetation too, as well as a bunch of the red nylium. Alrighty, but I think I got all the crimson blocks that we need, so all we gotta do now is find some gravel. And I feel like this stuff is usually near the lava pools. Yeah, okay, we do have a little bit up here. I'm not quite sure if this is gonna be enough, but I'll definitely pick it all up. How much was that? Only like half a stack. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more. Oh man, I hate bridging over lava like this, but I see a bunch of gravel on the other side, so I'm going for it. That was definitely worth it though. We just hit the gravel jackpot. I think this should finally be all the blocks that we need from the nether, so let's go home. And there's a bunch of mobs waiting for me on the other side. What is going on right now? Get out of here, Skelly. Dude, why is there so many mobs and we have like just random like nether blocks from these endermen? This is so annoying. Clean up on aisle 3. Why is this enderman about to kill me? Okay, we're good. Distractions aside, now that we have a bunch of cool nether blocks to work with, I want to spice up our nether portal a little bit. First things first, let's tear out all of this grass. And then with all that cleared out, let's fill in 1/2 with the warped nylium. And then for the other half, we can use our crimson nylium. And for the 2 halves meet, I think we can do this like zipper effect. I think that looks pretty good. And of course, I'm like 4 of the crimson nylium short. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, I have a solution. Let's just quickly hop back in the nether. Then let's just grab a bit of this regular netherrack. And then let's try to make this natural, so I'll just dig out like a little bit like this. And then if we fill this back in with our netherrack, it should just look like some texture variation. I might actually like that better. That looks pretty nice. Anyway, on this red side, I want to add our blue vegetation. Just gonna add these all over the place. Can do some of our mushrooms as well. I think that looks pretty good. And then on the blue side, let's do all of our red vegetation. I think that looks really cool. It's so colorful. On the front of the portal, let's do a bunch of our crimson fences, and then at the top we can do a row of trapdoors. Let's repeat the exact same design at the back of the portal, but this time using our warped wood. This thing came out so cool. I am super happy with this. I am kind of stressing though. We only have 11 days left, and look at all of this open space. We gotta get started on that as soon as possible, but before we get completely carried away, let's build up our brewing house. I went for a super similar style as our enchanting house, but I tried to make the roof a little bit like pointier, I guess, to give it more of like a fantasy look. I built straight into the night again, but let's get this finished up by first placing in some soul sand on either side of the build, and then we can of course plant all of our nether wart, and then I added some stairs on either side so we can have some water sources. Last but not least, let's throw some barrels right in the middle, and then on top of these we can do some brewing stands. I feel like that's all you really need for brewing, so I think I'm happy with this. I think our platform up here is nearly complete. I just want to add one final detail, and that's some hay bales. I don't really know how much sense it makes to have this here, but I think it'll help fill out the space. We have enough hay to add one more, so maybe let's just do it right here. Oh man, check out this view now with our platform all filled with builds. That looks so awesome. I think the space right in front of the platform could use some work though, as well as like underneath it. I think we should finally get rid of this villager pit. So let's just quickly tear down this wall, and then with the wall gone, let's get this all patched up with dirt. There we go, and it'll look even better once the grass spreads. Now that we have this all patched up and looking good, I want to expand our glowberry farm. We already do have a few bones on us, but let's just quickly see if we have any more. Wait, we have 42 bones? Where did we get all these bones from? What? Alright, well, I'm not complaining. Let's just turn all of this into bone meal. And then if we come over to our farm, we should be able to get a bunch of glowberries super quick. I think we do have the bone meal for it, so I'm just going to try to get these completely filled in. The sun just set, and that looks so awesome at night. I swear I just saw something hiding behind here. Yeah, look at this, Mr. Wanty T. What do you have for us this time? Oh my goodness, birch saplings and pale oak saplings, that is huge. I'm pretty sure I have some shiny green stuff inside of the house. Yeah, we have 42. I'm gonna buy ourselves a birch sapling as well as 4 of these pale oak saplings. Instead of planting these, I have a different idea, so let's unalive some of these cows. And then using the leather, let's make some item frames. And then I want to throw these on our walls so we can display all of the different saplings that we have. Look at our saplings, they're absolutely beautiful. Enough messing around, let's get back to work, and the first thing I want to do is fill in these sections in front of our platform. And I was thinking some garden boxes could look nice, so let's start off with some of these strip logs. And then to add some color to it, I want to use a bunch of this warped wood. So let's first make a bunch of trapdoors, as well as a decent amount of shelves. Heading back over to our planter box, let's throw some trapdoors on top of this entire thing, and then with those in place, let's add all of our shelves. Next up, let's fill this in with some dirt, and then last but not least, just gotta till this thing. I'm really happy with this though. I really like the combination of the oak and the warped wood. And I think let's just keep it simple and repeat the exact same design over on this side. I got the second one built up, so all we gotta do now is fill them in with some crops. So let's quickly harvest our old carrot farm, as well as our potato farm. Now that we have some extra crops, let's get these filled in, and I think we can just do some like alternating rows of carrots and potatoes. That should look pretty good. So let's do the exact same thing on this other side, just alternating carrots and potatoes. I got both of those filled in now, and they're looking good, and definitely helped fill out the space in front of our platform. Moving right along, I want to tackle this section next, which has our cobblestone generator. This has easily been one of the most useful and essential things that we've made, as this is where we've been getting all of our cobblestone and our stone from. So what better to do than surround the entire thing with a mini castle, and to take it to the next level, I also added a moat and drawbridge. Already, I am super happy with this thing, and as you can see, it still is functional. We can just come right in here and mine all of our stone. However, I think we can make it look a little bit nicer, and the first thing that I want to do is use this gravel that we got in the nether to make some coarse dirt. Can maybe just make like a couple of stacks for now. But then just going back around the castle, let's just dig out some of these grass blocks and then place in our coarse dirt. Also, this is how we get to the output chests. I just kind of hid them with some trapdoors, but we can still access them. Anyway, we still have quite a bit of open space on this side of the moat, so let's just dig out some grass blocks here too. Something just like that, and let's repeat it on this side as well. And then with that space cleared out, let's use our coarse dirt once again to fill these back in. And then in the center of these, or at least as close to the center as we can get, let's do a wall and a lantern. And then for this coarse dirt patch, let's just cover it in poppies. And then for this other one, let's do dandelions. And then to fill in the rest of these open grassy sections, let's just do bone meal all over the place. But with that, I think I'm happy to call our cobblestone generator complete. It looks so much better than before. The next thing I want to build is a greenhouse over in this corner right here, and in order to do that, we're going to need a bunch of glass. And since there's no sand in this world, we're gonna have to get some by trading with our librarians. Luckily, we have a decent supply of iron, so let's head into our trading hall, and then we can of course use this stuff to get a bunch of the shiny green stuff. And then let's see, I don't think our librarian is trading glass yet. No, he's not. Okay, let's maybe just do like 2 or 3 of these bookshelf trades and see if he unlocks it. Please, kind sir, may I have some glass? I'm asking very nicely. No. Okay, but the good thing is we can trade all of those books that we got earlier to keep leveling him up. I'm pretty sure I just put them all in here. Yeah, look at this. We have so many books. I think it'd also be a good idea to get a few more librarians, so let's make more lecterns. A lot of these guys I haven't even traded with, so we should be able to just break this and then place down a lectern, and yeah, got another librarian. We'll do the same thing for this guy, get rid of that, and place down a lectern, and I'll also make these guys librarians as well. Getting back to it though, let's go to our original guy here and sell him a bunch of books. And then with that, hopefully he's selling glass. Dude, where's this glass trade? I'm actually getting scammed so hard. Unfortunately, I don't think this guy's gonna give us glass, so we gotta upgrade one of these other villagers. I'm trying to find like the cheapest trade possible. I got one that's not too bad, just like 5 emeralds for channeling. I don't really care about the channeling enchant, it's just so that we can level him up. Come on, guy, glass, please, some glass. Yes, let's go. Why was that so hard to get? Finally, we have glass. Now that we have a glass trade, we just gotta keep this process going, so let's sell more iron. Can also sell more books too. And then using all of our shiny green stuff, we can buy as much glass as possible. We're now running into a bit of an issue now, which is that the trade is locking, so I'm gonna try to upgrade maybe this guy right here to get a glass trade, and then we can get double as much. Come on, guy, don't be stingy. Yes, let's go, second glass trade. Why is that so hype? Let's go. I'm not even kidding, like every single trade with these guys is locked right now, but it is the middle of the night, so I'm gonna try sleeping, and hopefully that'll reset the trades. It's a brand new day now though, day 95. So come on, tell me that your trades reset. Still no, really? Yeah, none of these guys, they're all just locked. While we continue to wait for those to reset, let's go grab the rest of the materials that we need for the greenhouse. I mainly just want to use copper, but we should be able to get a bunch right from the trial chamber. Yeah, check this out, there's like a ton of copper in here, so let's mine this all up. Give me the copper. Slime, can you not right now? We got over 3 stacks of copper now, that should be more than enough, let's go home. However, before we get carried away crafting this stuff down, I just want to grab a bunch of oak leaves. And for some of these leaves, I want to turn them into leaf litter, so let's put them in our furnaces. With that taken care of, let's craft down some of this copper first into some stairs, and then we also need some slabs, as well as some of just like the regular cut copper. I also want to make a copper door, so can I turn this into ingots? Okay, I can, so let's make a door. That should take care of all of the copper blocks, so let's head back to our trading hall and get the rest of the glass that we need. We already have over a stack of emeralds, so let's get a bunch of glass from this guy. And then we of course have a second villager that trades this stuff as well, so let's get even more. That should be all the glass that we need, and we do have quite a few emeralds left over, so I want to buy some diamond boots. Took us long enough, but we now have full diamond armor. Kinda drippy with it, low key on a stack, no kizzy cap. No way the sun is already rising, we only have like 4 days left. Alright, we gotta lock in, let's just quickly grab the rest of the materials that we need and then get straight to building this greenhouse. Luckily, the greenhouse itself was pretty quick to build. I just made the main frame out of all of our copper and then filled in the rest with our glass. I'm super glad we were able to build something with copper. As soon as I saw the trial chambers, I knew we had to. But anyways, let's quickly get this finished up, and the first thing I want to do is just add some leaf litter right along these leaves. And then maybe for the rest of this area, we can just do a bit of bone meal to make it look a little bit more finished. There's probably more exciting stuff that we could do, but we're running super low on time, so I'm just going to make another crop farm. You know the drill by now, just some slabs, some walls, and some lanterns. And then for this one, let's just keep it super simple and do wheat for the entire thing. It is mega cozy in here at night though, you can even like see our house over here. I love this. Oh man, it's already day 97 and we still have, what is this, like 3 empty sections to fill. To save ourselves some time, let's try to make this next build a little bit simpler. All we should need for this one is just some coarse dirt, as well as any ores that we have like these emeralds. However, I do want to turn these into blocks. And then I'll also swing over to our farm here and grab some iron. And once again, we can turn all of those into blocks. Alrighty, but with that sorted, let's get straight to building. This is like the simplest build ever. I just tried to create a maze out of all of our leaves, and then in the very center, I put all of our valuable blocks. I just finished building this like 30 seconds ago. Let's see if my memory is good and I can remember how to solve it. Okay, this is it's a pretty easy maze. It does have a different exit though. If we come over in this direction and then come over here, yeah, that's the exit. Wait, did I make 2 exits? Dude, what am I thinking? I don't know, this maze doesn't make any sense. I'm lost now. Oh my goodness, day 97 is already done and we still have 2 more sections to go. Okay, we gotta fully lock in. For this section over here, I want to build a pond, but honestly, I'm just so tired of digging with this super slow shovels. Let's try to make a better one. Let's quickly check our enchanted books. I think we maybe got one with efficiency 4. Yeah, right here. Okay, that is actually so clutch. Let's just head over to our anvil and then add this to our shovel. Not like that. Yeah, okay, there we go. I think we should be able to insta-mine now. Oh my goodness, we can. Why did I not do this sooner? This is so fast. Let's go. I got the shape of the pond figured out, so let's dig this all the way down to bedrock. There we go. This is looking good now, so all we gotta do is fill this in with some water. Alrighty, final layer. We should be good now. Since we're so low on time, I just went straight ahead and added some smaller details like some small boulders and vegetation. Aw, this thing came out so lush. I absolutely love this. I was even able to add a couple small docks, so this is like the perfect fishing spot. And if you don't want to fish, you can just come over here, take a seat on this bench, maybe just like read a book, something like that. I don't know, sounds pretty cozy to me. Anyway, it's already day 99 and we still have 1 empty section to fill in, so let's get straight to work. For this one, I was thinking we can make a small garden, so let's start off with a path. Yeah, I think a nice winding path like this is gonna work perfectly, so let's add the smaller decorations. I could not help myself, so I built a few more small boulders, and then to bring the area to life even more, I added some lampposts as well as a few small trees. And we seriously could not have cut that any closer as it's already day 100. This base turned out so cool though, it's easily one of my favorite ones that we've ever made. It was a super fun challenge, just trying to think of like different things to put in all of the different sections, but everything came out super well. But as always, if you want to explore this base for yourself, you can get the world download on my Patreon or by joining as a tier 2 member right here on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, happy building, and I'll see all of you in the next video.